Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here today on this beautiful Sunday morning. And I'd like to welcome all those online, too, for being here with us. My name is Joanne McGuire, and I'm the co-host today, along with Reverend David.
Well, good morning, everyone. You know, whatever your faith, background, race, gender, sexual orientation, age, or ability, please know that you are welcome here. We come together to encourage and support one another in our individual spiritual journeys. So wherever you are in that process, well, we're glad you joined us today.
While it is a well-traveled land, we would like to respectfully acknowledge that the land in which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi peoples. We are grateful to work, learn, and live in this area. I'd like to introduce our musicians for today. We have Angelica with us, as well as Mike Carla. So thank you for being here. We look forward to hearing what you got today.
And I'm very glad to have Joanne with us today and hosting with me. And I am going to ask her to open in prayer today.
My life overflows with the richness. Turning my attention to the abundant wealth present in nature, I find prosperity all around me. I see billions of grains of sand stretching out across the shoreline and feel the abundance of warm sunlight on my skin. At night, I take in the magnitude of the universe as I gaze at the stars sparkling far above me. The vastness of the sky seems to go on forever, just as the riches of life extend beyond what my eyes can see. I discover these treasures in my life just as I do in nature. When I mindfully count my many blessings, I realize I am prosperous. Beyond material riches, I find love, joy, and laughter, and peace all around me. Each blessing, whether big or small, contributes to my prosperity. And so it is.
Thank you, Joanne. I do want to let everyone know that our prayer chaplain today is Susan Fabro. Susan's right over here, and she is available to pray with anyone if they would like after the service today, up in our prayer room, right next to the kitchen.
And we also have our prayer box over here, a prayer request box right here by the altar. And all you have to do is fill out a slip and put it in the box, and then our prayer chaplain team will hold these requests in prayer with you. And also I want to remind you about Silent Unity. And that's the online 24/7 prayer support program. And the phone number is 1-800-NOW-PRAY.
Well, now is the time for us to do our first song and sing. So if you're able and comfortable doing so, please stand up and join us.
What do I want my day to be? I choose. What do I want to feel today? I choose. What do I want my day to be? I choose. I choose. I choose. I choose. today. I choose to be joyful, so joyful today. I choose to be joyful, joyful. Oh, whatever I choose is what my day's gonna be. Killing what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. It's all up to me today. I choose to be thankful, so thankful today. I choose to be thankful, thankful today. I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. I am grateful, grateful. Every day I am grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful, grateful. Thanks, everyone.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Our next
like
song
that.
is God is My Source. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Faith is my source, faith is my power, faith gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, faith gives me everything I need. Peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, peace gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Thank you, everyone.
You may be seated. Thank you.
Energized. Okay. So let's talk about our Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor. It is a progressive spiritual community that emphasizes personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. As part of New Thought and the worldwide unity movement, we strive to be compassionate, inclusive, open-minded, service-oriented, abundant, and spirit-filled.
Unity teaches that each person is a unique individual expression of God. Our realization of that truth evolves as we expand our consciousness through prayer and meditation. Unity emphasizes that we create our experiences of life according to the thoughts and feelings that we hold in our mind. Affirmative prayer is the highest form of creative thought, while meditation stills the mind and heightens our awareness of our oneness with spirit, with each other, and with all of life. So living from that awareness transforms our lives and in turn transforms our world.
We have a monthly affirmation for April, and it is, "The Christ Spirit within me is eternally renewing and resurrecting my entire being." Can you say that with me, please?
The Christ Spirit within me is eternally renewing and resurrecting my entire being. And now, Angelica is going to be singing one of my favorite songs, which is Amazing Things. Michael Gott, good friend of mine. And please feel free to sing along.
Yes, I meant to mention that too. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that
I love that song. I really do. And you did amazing things with that song. Both of you did.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, welcome everyone. It is definitely spring. It feels so spring out there. I just love it. Everything's just bursting into blooms. I've got tulips coming up in the yard now, and the daffodils have been up. I've got a magnolia tree that's just gorgeous next door that's just in full bloom. It's just really feeling like spring. So, a 92-year-old Mother Superior was dying at a convent in Ireland, and all the nuns had gathered around her bed in an attempt to make her last journey comfortable. They offered her some warm milk to drink, but she refused. Then one of the nuns took the glass back to the kitchen, remembering a bottle of Irish whiskey received as a gift of the previous Christmas. So she opened it up and poured a generous amount into the warm milk. Back at the Mother Superior's bed, she held the glass to Mother Superior's lips, and the Mother Superior drank a little bit, then a little more, and then a little more, and before you knew it, she had drunk the whole glass down to the last drop. Mother Superior, the nuns asked solemnly, is there a piece of wisdom and advice that you can impart on us before you die? And with a weak smile, she turned to them and said, don't sell that cow. You know, for the past 3 months, 2 times a month, February, March, and then this April, we've been exploring our core values and taking a deep look at each and every one of them. And like I said, I did 2 in February, 2 in March. And then the Sunday before Easter, we did our core value of open-mindedness. And today we're going to complete the series, my series of talks, by exploring our core value of abundant. So just a reminder, core values are traits or qualities that you consider not just worthwhile. They represent an organization's highest priorities and deeply held beliefs and core fundamental driving forces. And our chosen core values are the heart of what our spiritual center and what we as its members stand for in the world. I also would like for you to look at our core values as making up our mindset as an organization. And by mindset, a mindset is a series of self-perceptions or beliefs that people or organizations hold about themselves individually and or as a group. And these self-perceptions and beliefs determine the behavior of the organization or the individuals. It determines their behavior, their outlook, and their mental attitude. Now, as a dynamic, evolving, and growing spiritual community, it is possible that for our core values to change and others to be added. So periodically, we do like to review our core values, which we have been doing. So let's briefly review the core values that we have before we get into our newest one and our last one. So, and while we review these, just ask yourself if they are as relevant today and as important as they were back in 2018 when we chose them as our core values. And I believe they are. However, the board and I are open to your thoughts and to your suggestions. So here are the core values we have explored so far and just a few notes that I made to myself. So our first core value is compassionate. And I wrote, with open hearts, open and tender hearts, we show our love and concern for others through loving and caring acts of kindness. So that's our first core value, compassionate. And then our second one is spirit-filled. Awake to the omnipresence of spirits, we acknowledge spirit as our source, substance, and supply. As we remain open and receptive, we are filled with the unlimited life, wisdom, abundance, health, love, and peace of spirit. That's spirit-filled. And then our third one is inclusive. So we welcome and we embrace all people, seeing them as each unique individual expressions of God. And then last week, we had open-minded. We grow in consciousness and spiritual maturity by keeping our minds open and receptive to the unlimited flow of divine ideas. And then service-oriented is, I said, following the teachings of our great example and wayshower, Jesus Christ, we put our spiritual principles into action by daily finding ways to be of service to others. So today we're exploring our core value of abundant. And the dictionary defines abundant as fully sufficient, present in great quantity, and richly supplied. Other definitions are plentiful, copious, rich, profuse, ample, and lavish. And abundant is also related to the term abundance, with their similar meanings of affluence and prosperity. So abundant as a core value, again, is a mindset, as each of our values are. And again, a mindset is a series of self-perceptions or beliefs that people hold about themselves individually or as a group. And these self-perceptions and beliefs determine the behavior, the outlook, and the mental attitude of the individuals and organizations. So in life, we can choose between viewing the world as abundant or limited in terms of love, relationships, wealth, and resources. Abundant does not just apply to wealth. It applies to all of the rich blessings that we have in life, the love, the joy, the peace, the 12 powers, if you will. In life, our mindset determines which road we travel on. One road is paved in scarcity, and the other road is filled with abundance. Abundance at every turn. In any moment, we can choose to change which road we want to travel on. Life is full of choices. And if we don't like the road we're on, we don't like the life that we're living, we can change. The scarcity pathway leads one to an experience of life not fully lived. A life of lack, a life of not enough, a life lacking inspiration, a life overflowing with strong negative reactions and countless missed opportunities and experiences. And those that walk along the path of abundance, they experience a completely different kind of life, opting to live life to the full, exuding happiness, generous by nature, creative and inspirational. And so taking full advantage and enjoying the wave of opportunities that come their way. So claiming abundant as our core value and as a mindset, we acknowledge and we affirm that we live in an abundant universe. We acknowledge that we live and we move and we have our being in a universal field of infinite possibilities. Now, this universal field of infinite possibilities is called by many names. You can call it God, source, divine mind, substance, and supply, just to name a few. Jesus called it God. Jesus called it Spirit. Jesus called it Father. He also said, I and the Father are one. And then in another place he said, all that the Father has is mine. Jesus frequently reminded his followers that all things are possible for those who believe. These statements are statements that come from an abundant mindset. While it's true that a word can never really express or define God, it is also true that we cannot enjoy lasting wellness, abundance, creative self-expression, and wonderful freedom and fulfillment without a conscious relationship with our source and a recognition of our true identity. We must go beyond our little minds and third-dimensional memory banks and focus on the very real, invisible something within each of us, our divine wholeness, our spiritual reality. It is through our spiritual practice of prayer and meditation that we do this. As our fourth principle states, our lives can be changed and transformed through the power of prayer and meditation. Last Sunday was Easter, and I read a part of a message that Charles Fillmore gave on Easter Sunday, April the 12th, 1914. And I want to read it. It's just a short piece. It was an opening to his talk on that Easter. And I want to repeat it because it was really at the heart of my message last week. And very much at the heart of this message as well. So Charles opened the talk that Sunday morning in 1914 saying, "The realization that man is spiritual being is the highest point of consciousness. Man never realizes what he is until he knows within himself that he is spiritual. This is the resurrection, the conscious knowledge that I am a spiritual being and that all things are essential or in essence spiritual. Again, this is the resurrection, the conscious knowledge that I am a spiritual being and that all things in essence are spiritual." And then Fillmore goes on to say, and this last sentence here to me really speaks strongly to me. This realization brings man into absolute being. This is the effective prayer. This is the creative prayer, the prayer that brings about the evolution, the consummation of all evolution, and the union between God and man. Do y'all feel the power in that statement? This realization that I'm a spiritual being, that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, but first and foremost, I am a spiritual being. That realization is effective prayer. That is where all effective prayer comes from, is from that lived realization that we are spiritual beings. That is where all creative prayer comes from that realization that I am a spiritual being. And that is the prayer, that is the realization that brings about the evolution, the consummation of all evolution, the transformation, the union between God and man. It is that realization that I and you are spiritual beings. When we live from the truth of who we have an abundant mindset. We realize, like Jesus said, we believed and realized that in truth we can do all things if we just believe. If we put our belief into something and we truly want to do it, we can do it because we are spiritual creatures. We're spiritual beings, one with the one presence and the one power. It is by living from that truth that our whole life becomes a living prayer. When we are living from the truth of who we are and knowingly trying to be that truth, trying to live that truth, trying to embody that truth, trying to be the Christ that we are meant to be, then we are doing what Paul said, we are praying without ceasing. So this is the abundant mindset that Jesus had when he said, I and the Father are one. And when he said, all that the Father has is mine. John Asseroff is an entrepreneur, businessman, author, and a successful motivational speaker. And if you ever watched The Secret documentary, he was one of the participants in it. But in that documentary, The Secret, he said the secret to having it all is believing you already do. The secret to having it at all is believing you already do. And my friends, if you are living from the truth of who you are, if you are first and foremost the spiritual being that you are, then you have everything you need. Our unity principles have come out of an abundant mindset. Our first principle, that there is only one presence and one power in the universe, everywhere present and all-knowing. And our second principle just follows that, and that we are one with the one. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And our third unity principle states that human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. Our reality is created by the thoughts and the feelings that we hold in our mind. And spiritual growth is all about being able to see ourselves as the powerful spiritual beings that we are, that we truly are, created in the image and likeness of God, and living from that realization. So as spiritual beings, we are unlimited, and we do have infinite possibilities to choose from. This is an abundant mindset. My life, your life, is an outpicturing of what we have created in our mind. The images, the concepts, the beliefs that we hold up there. And what we hold up there is our choice. By changing our mind, we can change our experience. You can take charge of your thoughts. You have the power to change your thoughts. And because you have that power, if you use that power, you can change your life. But your power is only a theory until it is demonstrated. So it's important to become aware of what limiting thoughts that we might exist in our minds, and have the courage to confront those limiting thoughts and deny that they have any power over us. You know, check your energy level. You know, every day we are fueling our minds with the thoughts that we are putting in there. And if you're spending a lot of time listening to the news and talk shows and reading things on the internet, you are filling your mind with a bunch of garbage. Okay? There's an old saying, garbage in, garbage out. There's just so much negativity out there. And we don't have to participate in it. We do not have to participate in it. And so when we fill ourselves with negative thoughts, we are bringing our conscious level down. We are bringing our energy level down. So what was that quote by Paul? You know, think of these things, whatever is lovely and true. And I mean, think of the good things. Keep your mind on the positive. And you will have more energy. You will have a higher consciousness. And then also do a word check. If you want to know what's going on in your mind, just listen to yourself very, very closely, what you're saying, okay? Just listen to the words that you're using, especially the ones, if you're really listening, the ones that you're saying over and over and over again. They will tell you where your consciousness is. I mean, are we speaking to ourselves with empowering language? I can, I will, I am, or are you filling them with negative thoughts and words like I can't, I won't, I don't know how, I'm not good enough? Be mindful of your words. Well, you can't be mindful of the world that your words are creating. So we are responsible for our creations. We are responsible we are creating through our thoughts. We are creating our world that we are living in through our actions, through our words. We are the creators. We're co-creating all of this, and it's a beautiful, wonderful creation. But we can do even better. That's the thing with Spirit. Spirit is always wanting us to do something new, something better. So our vision here is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And when we speak of transformation, we are talking about a major change in composition or structure, outward form or appearance or character or condition. So our world is a world that's powerfully transformed. Now, we do live in a world where the lust for power and wealth has created sort of a topsy-turvy type world. The top 1% now own half of the world's wealth. The top 1%, which is more wealth than the 90% combined. And while the world every year produces more than enough food to feed everyone, 9 million people die every year of hunger. So there's the negative out there. So we can do better. And we can transform ourselves, and we can be an example, the Christ light for others to transform themselves. We can do all that we can to be of service in the world, to be the compassion in the world, to actually live and embody our core values. And when we do that, we become the light. We become the love in action. And it's something that we can do. It's something that we are called to do. So the world is in need of a major transformation in consciousness. And our consciousness determines how we act in the world and interact with others. So as a spiritual center, our purpose is to transform lives by helping people to raise their consciousness. In our world, if our world is to be powerfully transformed, it will be through people who have themselves been powerfully transformed through spiritual awakening. And spiritual awakening refers to that shift in consciousness that comes about through us putting our spiritual practices into practice. Our daily time of meditation or prayer. And also just spending time with other like-minded people. You know, if you spend your time with a bunch of negative people, have you noticed it's sort of a bummer? It sort of brings you down. So surround yourself with people that are uplifting and that are like-minded, and that's what we enjoy. That's what we enjoy doing here. I mean, when we go upstairs and just sit around those tables and everything, we are laughing, we're enjoying each other's company, and we are uplifting each other, and that's a beautiful thing. So our vision of a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening acknowledges and affirms that we are growing as a congregation and as a movement, and that we are not alone in this. So we share the journey with untold numbers of like-minded spiritual explorers. The culmination of our spiritual journey is a recognition of oneness with all existence. The task before us is not just believing in that oneness, but living as and from that oneness. You know, it's easy to get mesmerized and captivated and judged by appearance, what looks like an abundant life. And we tend to think that an abundant life is having a lot of things. But true abundance is about knowing the truth of who you are. Knowing that the kingdom of God is within you, and knowing that God is your source, your substance, and your supply. It is the feeling that the source within you, you feel it. You feel that power. You feel the source. It's about feeling a deeper connection with the source. And it is pure love. It is pure joy. It is peace. It is having the awareness that you are connected to and one with the source from which all of your good comes. It is the awareness of God's presence within us. That, my friend, is an abundant mindset. All things are possible for those who believe. And so it is. Let's prepare for our meditation. What is this song?
In my life.
In my life. Okay, I think it's a new one on me. Thank you for singing it.
In my life, your blessings. In my life, your love. In my life, your blessings. In my life, your love. In my heart, your blessings. In my heart, your love. In my life, your blessings and your love.
So I do invite you to just relax in your seat right now. Get comfortable. If you have any tight parts on your body, I suggest you sort of scrunch them up like I do frequently with my neck and my shoulders. And I just scrunch them up and hold them there, and then I relax. And it just helps me relax my shoulders and my neck. So we're just relaxing here, totally letting the seat support our weight. And we'll take a few deep breaths as we do this and as we settle here and open our hearts and minds to the presence of Spirit. So we take a couple of deep breaths. And with each deep breath and out of that breath, we do feel ourselves relax more and more. And we allow our minds to become still. And if anything pops up about something that went on before or something going on later or something that went on 2 weeks ago, we just let it go. We don't have to grab hold of it. We just note it as a thought and we let it go. And we return to this present moment, allowing ourselves to be fully open, fully receptive to the presence and the guidance of Spirit that is here for us now and always, when we just take the time to spend some time in the silence. So we are and we do live in an abundant universe. And a universe where everything we need is here. If we just ask for it, if we just reach out for it, what we need, we receive. So right now we're going to just take a little bit of time and spend it in the silence. And what we're going to do is just be completely, totally open and receptive to whatever guidance comes. And it may be just pure silence. And if it's just pure silence, that is the message. That is what you need right now. So open our hearts and we open our minds to the presence of Spirit, to the wisdom of Spirit, to the peace of Spirit. So as we begin to bring ourselves back to this present moment, I'm going to invite Angelica to sing one more time that beautiful song.
In my life, your blessings. In my life, your love. In my life, your blessings. In my life, your love. In my heart, your blessings. In my heart, your love. In my life, your blessings and your love.
So, loving Spirit, we are grateful. Grateful for this time together. Grateful for this time of just being open and receptive. And we just open our hearts and keep them open for the rest of this week. And we are grateful, grateful, grateful. Amen.
Amen. Well, I'm just really in the feeling of everybody's passion. Your passion for sharing about the core values and just, going into more detail about them is really important because otherwise they can just be words. So
Yeah.
thank you for your passion. And Angelica, thank you for your passion. I could really feel it in those songs you were singing earlier. It's like, oh my God, you're putting so much emotion into it. And of course, Mike's passion for sharing his musical talents. So appreciated. Thank you. And Leo, I just want to say thank you, Leo, for all your tech support and your passion about it. And all you, whoever, whatever your passion is in life, and I know what yours is, Giovanni. And, it's just so important because it's just such an expression of Spirit as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. So at this time, let us take to heart our vision, mission, and statement of being, which is shown on the screen.
We have a global vision. Will you please speak it with me? Our vision
is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And we have a sacred mission. Will you say it with me? We inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world.
And we also have a personal statement of being. Will you say that with me? I am a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all.
And we have a few announcements.
Okay, yes, we do. So the second part of two-part class, A Renewed Faith in Spirit Through Science, the connection between spirit and consciousness, presented by Joe Yursich, today, 1 to 3 p.m. in person and on Zoom.
And that will be up in the classroom upstairs. And also your social committee, by the way, is sponsoring a dance at the Royal Canadian Legion, Old Castle, on Saturday, April the 22nd from 6 until 9. The cost is just a donation of a canned good. And so it should be fun. And we've got a sign-up sheet. Yes?
We just ask people to sign up, please. There is a sign-up sheet.
Yes. There.
You know how many tables to.
Yes, if you would, please, there's a sign-up sheet upstairs, and if you will sign up, then we'll know how many tables to reserve. Thank you.
In celebration of Earth Day, join us for a drumming circle with Nelson Ing. Drums will be available in limited numbers, so please bring your own drum, if you have any. And weather permitting, the drum circle will be held outside the chapel entrance.
So it'll be after the service next Sunday.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Wasn't sure. of the
So
time.
bring your own drums if you have them, but he does have extra drums, or tambourines, or whatever tickles you. Oh, and Louise Klimzak will be facilitating an experiential interactive workshop called Natural Healing, How Your Thoughts Affect Your Health, or Our Health. This is going to be Saturday, May the 6th from 10 until 1 p.m. Louise, did you want to say anything extra about that? Yeah. Just go ahead and let her.
There was a lot said today about our thoughts and our being positive and so on. So I'm not going to repeat what you said, but I'm going to go into depth exactly what happens in your brain when you have a thought and how it affects your health. We're going to dissect this. We're going to talk about the conscious, the subconscious, how we can use our subconscious mind, and how we can delete stuff from our subconscious mind. And the second part of the workshop will be, and there will be some demonstrations as well. The second part, we will look at some very simple techniques or things that we can do to do that, to just delete and to heal ourselves. We know a whole lot, but we don't think of things to do, so I'm going to give you a list of things to do and practice on every day. I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Louise. And so this is put on by our seminar team, so we do, it is on a Saturday, and it is 10 until 1 o'clock on May the 6th, and so please sign up. There's a sign-up sheet upstairs.
Okay. Thank you, Louise. Please join us next Sunday, April 23rd, as Mariette Jones presents her talk titled, Gentle Does It.
And then we do want to remind you again that, excuse me, being a little hoarse today. Susan Fabro is our prayer chaplain today, and she is available, will be available right after the service up in our prayer room upstairs. So if any of you would like someone to pray with, please see Susan.
All of our classes, programs, and services are made possible by your generous donations. Our heartfelt thanks for your continuous support. We've created many easy ways to donate, which you can find on our website. And for here, we have our love offering box. Sorry,
That's
you can
okay.
continue.
You took my part.
I did. Pushy little broad.
Pushy, you're pushy, right. So,
Do you want me to continue? Or
yes,
do you
go
want-
go
okay.
ahead and continue, right.
Silence. Okay, we have a love offering box near the foyer door with offering envelopes and pens where you can drop in your tithe or love offering as you leave the chapel. And again, thank you for all your support. Oh, and I get to continue.
You get to continue, yeah, because you took my part.
We invite you now to stand up and let's open our hearts and minds in gratitude as we close by speaking out loud or silently to ourselves our love offering prayer, followed by the peace song, and close with a prayer for protection.
Divine love in me and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I give, and all that I receive.